Hello, and welcome in you guys to another One Piece post-game video. How this works is that I like to go through the comment section of the last spoiler video just to see what everybody's talking about coming off of the description of this chapter. What are the theories? What are the takeaways? What is everybody looking forward to in the future? Those are the things we're here to discuss. So, with that being said, let's get right into it, brothers. So, first comment, top comment says, the last time Sanji carried an old man off the battlefield, it didn't end very well. Rest in peace, Gaban. Okay, so that's where it's coming from. I don't know if that's where everybody's at, but I've heard a lot of people, at least in the past week or two, saying that Gaban is gonna die here in Elbaph. I don't think he will. I don't know. I don't want Gaban to die. I really enjoy his character, and if Gaban dies, Carlin's not gonna have a dad. I think that's why I don't want it to happen. You know, like, at least for Bonnie, we already saw, like, all the things Kuma did and sacrificed for Bonnie. That was kind of like their whole plot point, right? Just Kuma sacrificing himself for other people. But for Gaban, it's like, yo, like, if we just kill him right away, like, we don't really see much of the father-son relationship. It's like, okay, what are we doing here, guys? He doesn't need to die. But I do agree, the last time Sanji did carry somebody on his back, it didn't end well. But the one thing we can take solace in is that the person they're going to be fighting is Saint Somers. And we saw what Scopper did to Saint Somers. Even though Gaban is wounded, I still think he'd be fine if pushed to do something, right? I don't think he's going to be entirely helpless. Yeah, he's bleeding. Yeah, he's got like a lot of wounds on him. So if Saint Somers started charging Scopper, I think he'd be able to defend himself. And of course, Chopper's there, Sanji's there. I'm assuming Ripley's going to be there. And plus Colin can, throw some fists as well, right? He's the one kid that can't fight. I was trying to think, like, is Colin actually strong? I don't know. You know, we have seen that kids have unlocked Conqueror's Haki in the most bizarre situations. Could Colin actually get it here in Elbaph? Would that be crazy? I mean, hell, his dad has it. And we have seen that sometimes Conqueror's Haki is hereditary, like Kaido and Yamato, for example. Garp, Dragon, Luffy. If Colin had Conqueror's Haki, I don't think it would be super insane. And of course, we have seen kids unlock it in situations like these, like Doflamingo. Oh, him and his brother and his father are gonna get killed? Conquers Haki. Ace. Oh, Luffy's gonna die? I'm fighting, you know, Blue Jam and Porcine? Conquers Haki. If Colin does it here, I think it'd be kind of fitting. So now, for the second comment, it's actually from Leo again. Look at this monster. He says, Emu, I fear no man, but that thing, Loki, it scares me. Hey. Loki isn't the only thing on this island that Emu should be afraid of, right? Because there's also Sun God Nika here too. And we know, because Gunko said it herself, but Gunko's afraid of Nika. What the hell are they teaching up in the Holy Land? What propaganda is Emu spreading about the Sun God? We're about to find out. As far as Nika goes though, I would love it if while Emu is fighting Luffy, Emu starts dissing the hell out of Luffy. Like, hey, Joy Boy had that power and he was way better with it. When Joy Boy used that fire ability, it was 10 times larger. Joy Boy's fist, it was way larger than that, Luffy. I would love the smack talk. You know, it kind of throws me back to Naruto, which I know I've been bringing up Naruto a lot recently, but I just recently rewatched it like a month or two ago. But when Madara was fighting the 5 Kages, he was like, you know, Hashirama, he was a one-man army. He was way stronger than all you, Kage. I would love it if Emu did that for Loki and Luffy. Like, hey, Loki, the last guy that had your ability, he was 50 times stronger. The way he used Ragnar, he had more than just ice powers, let me tell ya. Dude, Emu could be the ultimate hype man, the ultimate lore dropper. We just gotta give him a chance. This comment says, perfectly timed cat. Yeah, dude. I got 5 cats. And every now and then you will see them in the background. Like, there's Seiji right there just looking into the void. Kind of makes you wonder, am I haunted? What is he staring at? I don't know. This comment says, Sanji is gonna get some love conquers all type shit. Yeah, I can see it, man. And it's funny because Scopper is a lover boy, and Sanji is as well. You know, you gotta remember, when Luffy first saw Scopper, Scopper introduced himself as the missionary of love. And Luffy was like, yo, that's Sanji in the future, man. So I would love it if they did bond on love abilities or emotions in general, which sounds cheesy, but it could definitely happen. Sanji, whatever he gets, whatever power-up he gets, I can easily see it being emotion-based. I never thought you'd be the only One Piece YouTuber I still watch after 10 years on this platform. Keep it real, King. I appreciate it, brother. Happy New Year's, man. Hopefully 2026 has been effing solid for you. Sanji, I've played these games before. Gaban, probably. Yeah, dude. I think that's what I'm looking forward to. I really hope Gaban backseats Sanji, if you know what that means. Like, he's a backseat gamer. He's like, hey, Sanji, do this, do that. Sanji, get stronger over there. Sanji, why are you doing this? Sanji, why aren't you using your hands? Which I think could be a valid question. Like, if you don't know the Straw Hats and if you don't know Sanji's, code of fighting, it's like, wait, Sanji, why can't you hit women? Sanji, why don't you punch people? Oh, okay. Like, I would just love that conversation between them just because they are parallels, right? I do think Gaban could give great insight as to how to beat Saint Summers. Not like Sanji needs it. I think Sanji more or less handles fights pretty well by himself, but just getting that backseat gamer Gaban, I think is just a lot of fun. I think the leakers worded Shanks' memories a bit awkwardly. I think they meant that Garling told Shanks, not Harold, that he could ask for anything, and that having lived on the surface, it must have been hard. Yes, you are 100% correct. And that's the thing, right? When it comes to leakers and the spoilers we get for One Piece, always have to take it with a grain of salt, because you gotta imagine, the leakers themselves are not English speaking, right? Spanish, Arabic, so many different languages, French, German, like so many different leakers from around the world do these spoilers. And you gotta imagine, they translated to English and it didn't even start in their language. It started in Japanese. So it is like Chinese telephone where you start in one place and then you just end up in a completely other place. Most of the time, I think the leaks are pretty on point, but yes, you are right. They did word this one a little bit awkwardly. And, I think it's fine. If sometimes spoilers are just a little bit jarred, no big deal, right? It's kind of what we signed up for when we watch these videos. This says, if you noticed, a few chapters ago, Shanks basically told Gaban to let Luffy free Loki if he trusted him enough when he met him. Huh. I don't explicitly remember Shanks saying this outright, but it could have implied it in so many different ways. Hell, when Gaban learns that Shanks gave his arm up for the future, and then that future is Luffy, yeah, I think Gaban's gonna come into this whole conversation trusting Luffy outright. So I do agree. It's kind of like Rayleigh, right? Where Rayleigh knew about Shanks and how he gave his arm to the future, and it's like, yeah, it's probably because of Luffy. And then even Whitebeard, right? Whitebeard's like, Shanks, what'd you lose your arm for? The future? Interesting. In the East Blue, huh? That's where Straw Hat came from. Loki literally has Emu power scaling. I'd be kind of surprised if Shanks beat him by himself. Yeah, when it comes to Loki versus Shanks, I think I can accept it because Shanks could just have crazy scaling, right? Like maybe after this battle, Shanks is like, hey, I don't ever want to lose a good guy again. I don't want to lose another Herald, so I'm going to get stronger. This was like his 3D2Y. Like how the Straw Hat's all powered up crazily post-time skip? This could have been that for Shanks, and that is why he managed to beat Loki in the future, despite Loki being absurdly powerful with his Devil Fruit Day 1. I could see that being the case. Also, I wouldn't be shocked if all the red hair pirates fought Loki. They are pirates, right? They don't have to do like a true and blue 1v1, or hell, maybe they even did a Davy back fight, because we do know that Loki does look up to Rocksteady Zebek, and Rox was known as the Davy back king. So it would be kind of cool if Loki had a Davy back fight with the red-haired pirates, and that is how he ended up losing. We'll see. We will definitely see, brother. And also, I just want to add this in, but while it's true that Shanks definitely got stronger since the day King Harold passed away, the same could be said about Loki. Loki defeated King Harold day 1 of obtaining his Devil Fruit, and day 1 of obtaining Ragnar. So I can't even begin to imagine how strong Loki must have gotten while sailing out in the open seas for 8 full years. This says, Sea King upscale. Yeah, the Sea King in the East Blue. Dude, he got done so dirty. I don't know if you guys remember this, but after we left Wano, there was a 3-minute One Piece special where we saw that same Sea King. Well, okay, not same Sea King. It's the same species, but it's white. In the East Blue, it was brown, but in Wano, it was white, and Luffy and Law were fighting it. And I think Kid was there too. It was super goofy, but yeah, that Sea King, man, I can't wait to see another version again. I wonder if we'll actually see this guy in the Void Century. Like maybe he has a grandfather and it fought Joy Boy in the past. I don't know, man. I don't know. This says, I believe that Loki's devil fruit is the demon on the left side of the mural holding the mother flame. Or it would be cool if he was Ankalagon. Ankalagon. I don't know who this is. Let me just copy and paste it. Ah, I see. Okay, so it's a dragon from J.R.R. Tolkien. Okay, I gotcha. I never read this one. I never even heard about it, actually. But yeah, that'd be cool. I would love a dragon transformation. A Western dragon transformation. You know, people are like, oh, but what about Kaido and Momonosuke? Those are Eastern dragons, brother. I don't like those sky serpents at all. Give me the Western ones instead. This says, I hope Loki met Mihawk in his 8 years of traveling. Black Blade versus Black Hammer. Man, I wish, dude. At some point in time, Mihawk has to come into the story. We need like a Mihawk backstory. We need to learn what he's all about, why he's so strong, why he became the world's strongest swordsman. Something, man. Just when? When will it actually happen? We don't even have crumbs of this guy's backstory. Okay, we have crumbs, but it's very vague. Apparently, Mihawk was betrayed by the Marines, and then he started killing Marines afterwards. What? How could Marines betray Mihawk? You know what I mean? Like, that's so hard to think about. He must have been a kid when it happened, because I can't imagine adult Mihawk being blindsided by the Marines. Unless this is like before he got super powerful and got Yoru, but yeah, I wonder, dude, what the hell happened with this guy? Sanji using his fist for advanced conqueror's haki. That would be cool. I would like it if, you know, Sanji was out here doing crazy taijutsu techniques. The choreography would go insane. But here's the thing. That would go against, I wouldn't say everything he stands for, but that would go against his role, right? The main reason he doesn't use his fist is because he uses it for cooking, right? He doesn't want to hurt his hands. And that's something that Zeph taught him. So I don't know if he'll ever use his fist unless it's because of the Gemma DNA. Because when his eyebrows go the other direction, his personality changes. So maybe when they change, he doesn't care about cooking. Kind of like how his family acts, right? Because his family hated the whole cooking thing. So maybe, but I don't know. I just feel like he mastered his kicks so well that if he does just out of nowhere start boxing people, it would feel unnatural, right? I don't think he has like a named attack ready to go via fisting his opponents. But we'll see, man. We'll see. Loki freezing that Draga reminded me of the Galley Raw Giants, which makes me wonder if a previous user of Loki's fruit froze them, and if that's the case, maybe the reason Rox wanted Herald to eat the fruit was to undo that freezing. That's not bad. I do like that. It would have to be like a special ice then, right? Because just ice in general, like you can melt that in so many different ways. I always thought that the Galley Raw Giants would follow Loki because of the hammer, but this could be it too, right? Maybe you do need the hammer to break that same ice. I guess we'll see. I do like the idea a lot though. I really do. It reminds me of Boa Hancock. When Boa Hancock petrified Blackbeard's crew, she did say that only she could undo the petrification. Another user wouldn't be able to do it. You can't undo it any other way. So maybe that's the case here. Ragnar originally froze the Galley Raw, so you can't unfreeze them via any other method. It has to be Ragnar again that breaks them out. And hell, we got Niflheim in this chapter. Maybe, just maybe, we will also get fire powers from Ragnar, and that could be what undoes the freezing. I think that'd be pretty cool. I do like that a good amount, actually. With how Emu doesn't know it's Loki who killed Herald, I think Shanks wants to keep Loki's existence a secret from the world government. Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. I think that this might have been the case at first, but eventually Loki did get a special bounty. I believe his special bounty was 2.8 billion. So at this point in time, I bet that Emu does know about Loki's existence. I don't know if he knows about Loki's devil fruit. Maybe he does. Yeah, wait. Maybe he does because it's a special bounty. Emu wants to get their hands on the fruit. Or they just want to ally with Loki for Elbaph. But then again, Emu did say that Elbaph is of the D. So I doubt they'd want to work with anybody other than King Herald. We'll see. I am excited, man. You know, going back to like one of the very first comments, I cannot wait to see Loki and Luffy against Emu. Like, what is Emu gonna say, brother? What are they gonna say? This says, so this seems close to the point where you would get the perilous moment where Sanji is needed. He flashes back to Scopper answering him with something like, you are a unique case. Whether you can reach it is up to whether or not you can something. And Sanji gets a double page spread with a new Conqueror's Hockey attack. Hey, I wish, man. I really hope that Sanji does get something in this arc. Even if it isn't Conqueror's Hockey, he just needs some way to hurt the God Knights. Because there's no world where Sanji in the future is useless in the final battle. So in my opinion, he's got to get either Conqueror's Hockey or just an insane power boost that puts him on that level. Now it makes sense why Emu scrapped Saturn. He knew he was weak and would die, causing damage to himself. So he removes Saturn before he causes Emu hurt. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, it's also just a massive blunder, right? Outright, Saturn was responsible for Egghead. He didn't do his job properly. I bet it's a multitude of things. I bet this is one aspect of it. But of course, Saturn did fumble very hard. You know, we cannot undersell how crazily Saturn dropped the ball on Egghead with Vegapunk, with Kuma, the Pacifistas, with Bonnie. It's like, okay, Saturn, you're failing from all angles. Even Emmet, right? Emmet was Saturn's thing. He was supposed to dispose of it, but he said, hey, let's keep it for science. Saturn just had like a massive sheet of L's. And then, of course, I bet this is also part of it where it's like, hey, Saturn, you also look pretty bad there physically, so let's just remove you, brother. You don't deserve these powers. Let's give it to Garling instead, which I'm excited for. I can't wait to see Garling's yokai transformation if he gets one. This as soon, Loki will see the sun god Goofy. Yeah, he hasn't seen Luffy's Gear 5th yet. Damn, yeah, you're right. It's funny because Ripley, she knew that Luffy was the Warrior of Liberation, the White Warrior. Loki has no inclinations about that yet. So when Loki sees Luffy transform, will he automatically believe that Luffy's the real sun god? Or will he be like, no, that's still me? Because Loki did introduce himself as that guy, but now when confronted with the real thing, it's like, wait a minute, what's gonna happen? I mean, Luffy has the soundtrack, right? When Luffy was fighting the Gorosei at Egghead, all the giants were like, yo, that's the beat, guys. Let's start dancing. I mean, I bet Loki will too. I don't know. That's so fascinating. I guess it really depends on what Loki's Devil Fruit is. I remember back at the beginning of Elbaph. Do you guys remember the big theory? The big theory was that Loki was the sun god of destruction. Who knows, man? Maybe he is actually also a sun god. We will find out soon. This says, from when the electric attack when Loki was released, but not at full power, I have believed these elemental attacks have been all him. Ragnar acts as a superconductor for these attacks, increasing their range, intensity, and accuracy. I wouldn't mind that. I feel like the waters are very muddied right now. It's hard to tell what is and isn't a Loki or Ragnar ability. Like the lightning, for example, right? Is that actually Loki's ability? Or is that Ragnar? I'm kind of leaning towards Ragnar now, simply because, you know, going back to when Loki struck the tree, he did have Sea Stone on him. So with that being the case, I don't think he would be able to activate his Devil Fruit powers. So I am erring towards the lightning being from Ragnar rather than Loki. But that's just me. And one thing that's really funny is that now that we have like the lightning abilities and even the ice abilities, if that is all from Ragnar, it really makes you wonder what the hell is Ragnar? Does that come from the hammer or does it come from whatever mythological squirrel Devil Fruit the hammer ate? Because even in mythology, right, people are saying it's Ratatoskr. If that's true, Ratatoskr doesn't have any listed abilities. It doesn't have lightning or ice powers. So what is going on here? I would love it if Loki was just this elemental Devil Fruit Zoan, but we'll see. You know, it's just hard to tell right now. Emu getting scared of Loki's new powers is crazy. So now we have a way to somewhat injure Emu. I'm really interested seeing how Emu took damage from Herald dying, but not from the nuke he received at God Valley. I think it's simply that Emu is completely invulnerable while they have pieces of their soul or contracts out there. But once you get rid of all those contracts, they will be able to take damage. I think that's going to be the case. Maybe it's even tied to why Emu is this shadowy blob monster. Maybe when we beat all the God Knights, Emu's real face comes out. Because I do think there is somebody underneath the darkness. And maybe by whittling down the God Knights, Emu's real form gets revealed. I think that'd be really cool, but we will see about that one. This one says, Ragnar probably has all elemental powers. Yeah, it seems like it, right? We already have lightning. We have ice. All we're missing is like wind, fire, and earth, and maybe some other ones out there like water. But yeah, I would not be shocked if Ragnar has more than that. And at that point, dude, Ragnar's just busted, brother. Ragnar is busted. This says Loki was chained as he used the lightning in present day. So it shows that it is Ragnar. And here, Loki referred to the ice as Ragnar's too. Just my view. Yep, I agree with that one. This says, finally, we will see Emu in Gear 5. Yes, I think so. Like I said, the interaction between Gear 5 and Emu, fantastic. What if Emu even hints at Gear 6? Emu's like, hey, this isn't what I fought during the Void Century. Wait a minute. I think you have like another ability, Luffy. Maybe you gotta test it out, which I doubt Emu would say that. Emu was like the king of egg posting, so I doubt they'll actually say any of it, but, I hope so. We can pray, right? We can pray. Sanji is definitely getting a crash course on Supreme Conquers Haki and is going to show old Mosshead how quick he was able to master it when he's been using it like a fool. Yes, but here's the thing. If Sanji does get Conquers Haki, I think Zoro's going to get something else. We talked about like, oh, maybe Zoro masters Ashura. Maybe he masters King of Hell mode. Maybe he gets a Black Blade even. Maybe he even gets Future Sight. Or he masters his Conquers Haki even better than Sanji. I feel like they're always like this, right? When one of them gets an upgrade, the other one gets one too. So it's definitely going to be like a fun back and forth. I can already see it. So now, for this final one, they say this chapter really goes to show how significant Emu killing Saturn was. There are so many ways they were willing to damage themselves just to get Saturn out of here. Yeah. I mean, who knows? Maybe because Emu killed Saturn on their own accord, Emu was like prepared for it. They don't exactly take any damage from it. And hell, maybe it's like Bleach, where whenever one of the Sternritter dies, Yuhawaha just gets more powerful. Emu's like, hey, give me those powers back, Saturn. You're wasting them. I feel better now. But of course, for King Harold, since, Emu didn't want that to happen, that was more painful. We'll see, right? There's still a lot of mysteries about Emu's ability. Is it a devil fruit? Is it magic? Is it hockey related? We have no clue. But with that being said, though, guys, thank you so much for tuning into this video. I really freaking appreciate it. And I will catch you guys in the next couple of days for the prediction video for chapter 1172. You guys stay safe and take care, brothers.